Hello planet folks, welcome back to this Gnomes. And this is the continuation of some character making, 3D character in Blender. I'm using Blender 4.2.2. Oh, new update here, I didn't know. Let's check what is going on here. And this is Aisha. It's a character for Sci-Fi's project, 3D animation project, and I'm still rigging, and I'm in a big struggle because I'm trying partially to reinvent the wheel, and this is some things are working, some others not that much. After I've tried to make this auto-key spine, so I started to have some little trouble here, but I'm about to complete it. I think now it can work. The wave painting are very bad yet. Well, they are very, and there's some things about the bones, the bend, yeah, that might not be working very well, but yeah, we have this. Fortunately, there's all the rest is working more or less well. Just the deforms, and actually there is also something about the handles of these bendy bones. Hold on. Maybe I'm overdoing something that... Oh yes, I actually need those. No, maybe there's one way. Okay, so the problem is I having is that I've tried many things, even to have two control spines, like one eye key like that, so from the bottom spine to the head, so you see I can control the... Sometimes I have difficulty doing that, but in principle, let's use this other... Yeah, this bone is too big, so sometimes, but you see what we can do here. So from... So this is a chain that is going down, up. Octahedral will be able to see that, right? And I tried to make a control chain going up, down, like to meet the legs there, and it didn't really work, because the real problem is that, yeah, this happens in Rigify also, something like that the F key get completely offset, but then you can re-snap it with some automation, and this stuff is a bit complicated. So I decided not to attempt it. However, in a final way, that I think it would be possible, but it just annoyed me too much. And there is another problem, is that those were connected bones, like parented connected. Otherwise, no, not these ones. Otherwise, the auto key doesn't work. And the problem with the connected bones is that they are very stiff. They only respond to rotational input from transforms. Even drivers, they are uncontrollable. And so if I have one spine going up and one spine go down, if they are separated anyways in some way, if they are both chains connected with connective parenting, just like this one here, they don't interact between themselves from the middle. And so this makes both constraints for locations, they will totally fail. They are completely ignored, and this is a critical limitation because then we cannot have something more simultaneous. So you'd have to maybe disable the parenting, but this I think it's complicated, requires some coding. Rigify add-ons, I think they cheat, they do that. So I don't know why you don't have this by default, right? You see, but we don't have this by default, so in Blender. So this is, maybe there's an add-on that can do that. There's no dynamic parenting. We could consider, of course, child of bone constraint, but then it's no parenting like that, and then I mostly think that the auto key option will just fail because it requires root parenting. Anyways, so I've decided that I would not use two control chains because of those limitations. I was trying to split, and to some extent it seemed to be good, but it was just too awkward the way it worked. So this is why I've decided to... I was looking at some tutorials for spine, some ideas, and then I ended up with the following idea, which I'm still struggling a little with, which is, go back to B-bone here, which is, okay, you see the control spine here, we see that we can do this control, and then I've decided to make not that inverse spine, even halfway back downwards, but no, just some sort of controlling bone here for this hip, the lower spine, to have some this kind of motion. The deforms are not good, but it's a tweak bone, basically a tweak system. So I still have the lower legs, some sort of automation here with auto I key, so this is kind of cool, but you can reduce the amount, the auto I key length, right? But or augment, but there's a limit where I cannot. It doesn't go up too much, so it's sort of limited, but we can at least use for this bone here. We can play a little with this, and this controls both at the same time. So this is the last one on this lower, and of course the feet are glued, right? So because of how this works, we can still have some auto I key going here, but to pick these ones, yes, we can, but because they are snapped to the foot, to do this kind of thing I need to pick this, the shin and the foot, then I can control simultaneously. But it's a bit awkward, but it works, right? Also individual origins, maybe. Yeah, this is better, but I don't need to pick this. I can pick this just to have the backwards. So for example, there you see that little bone there can be moved by this one. So this is inverse kinematics, auto I key, while this, if I just pick this is not connected, so the auto I key is not working here. It's just a floating master I key bone for the I key bone constraint, which I've already presented. Well, I didn't explain, this requires a tutorial, but here is the bone with the I key bone constraint, and it targets something that now we might be more familiar with. I remake this setup, I cleaned up a lot, so this is kind of crazy how that works, but basically I can offset here. Finally I got this thing to work properly. Yeah, there's this offsetting, but you see they are equivalent there. Here I having the leverage of the shin mechanism bone, just as I have the leverage of the... There's something here that I need to verify what's going on here, but there's no problem. Right, so I can reset here if I want, and this in principle would be giving, you see, this pin knee joint, but only from the foot. If I need really to do this spinning from the perspective of the thigh, the hip, I would need to, here's a tweak. Oh, something is odd about this bone. Oh, I see what's happening. There's some mistake here in this no? Okay, never mind, it is working. It's a copy location. So this bone stretched from its root, and from its tip it stretched too. And something to this master knee, which is not a pole target, it's just something that we can occasionally use for facilities. But this is not the pinning bone. The pinning bone, where it is, pin structure, this is just for the middle here, so I can enable this thing. There we go. Now this is pinned, it doesn't move anymore. The knee is pinned, but I can, yeah, I can still move this. I don't need pinning for this, although it's a little stronger here. But the really reason to do this is to pin the joint from the, okay, so here for example I can pick this and simultaneously pick this. So you see, pinned from the torso. And that's the cool thing about this I key, auto I key for the spine, is that you can really do crazy things. We can do this with, of course, another more regular I key thing, but here I have a lot of versatility because I can pick the bones individually. Where is my, oh, now it is, yeah. Augment the chain length of, I cannot pick the legs, but if I pick two controllers, one for the bottom and one here, see, I have this I don't think this is very useful, but maybe it is, I don't know. I'll have to investigate more, but I can pick many. Here same thing, if I pick these two I can pull the, here I don't pull the torso, but if I pick this and this I can pull the torso there, and you see, and I can also pick only this one, or I can only pull the torso here because the auto I key length is infinite. Here it goes until the first connected bone there, control. So here I do this, let's give just one, so you see I can, yeah, this is not good, no, don't do that. So here is meant, if I pick these two, it's probably meant that I listed auto I key length of 2 or 3 or 4, 5 and 6, and you see, so you have these dynamic things, and this the regular I key bone constraint doesn't do. Maybe I would need to check more, but it's too complicated, you know, the spline I key bone constraint with curve object, that's a nightmarish thing to set up. Not that a spine like this is not nightmarish in some way, you have to be fixing those things all the time, but there is worse, of course. It's just something that, and then the roles get messed up, and then but if we don't care too much, if we do a clean job, it's not. It just requires some maintenance, and this is some annoying part. But otherwise, if it's just for the eye key, which actually doesn't need bendy bones. It was my choice to make these bendy bones, but I could really maybe not do this with bendy bones splines. So bendy bone splines are a bit tricky. So let's go now for the challenge that I could be doing here. Oops, wrongly initiated this. So basically there is this join. Let's do this thing. It's not rigging, but the problem is that I would have to, yeah, I know I am not doing this because I'd have to repaint this texture here on a much lower resolution, and the results might not be good, so it's a bit risky. Here already there's some transparency. Yeah, no, let's not do that. Let's go. Maybe I should leave like that because, yeah, let's leave it like that. I'm gonna delete this. Inverse kinematics panel, legs, shoulders, hips, neck, spine. Okay, so now this will be interesting. Let's go directly for that. So I already have the inverse kinematics set up for the, what do you have here? We have some extra controllers, but let's, so let's move all this to the master. Okay, maybe this shouldn't go to the master because anyways I'm lacking the, yeah, like I can just control everything from here, but it's not, this is not like the default thing, right? Maybe I should just turn this in blue. Alright, maybe these colors are not that good. Anyways, I need to find a better way to classify this. Why these ones? These are master ones. Let's give this some. On other rigs, I see that these are done for the. It is. I need some color which is really knowable. Yeah, black is good. Alright, I think that might work. Then yeah, like the extremities, right, makes sense. I have some, yeah, I was doing some, there we go, some custom shapes offline. Some I've reused, maybe I've made some improvements here. There's this. If they are black and they have this, they don't appear very well, right? So let's maybe make them yellow. Maybe these ones, yeah, we need something else for here. This is too dark color. So yeah, that's why I just picked a color like that. What about this one? Too dark. There's no white. Maybe we should make a white one. Why not, right? Custom color set. Yeah, this grayish color is very bad. I don't even know what I'm selecting here. Oh, I didn't save. Okay, let's use this one. Ah, no, it's not here where we... Yeah, I think it's not here where we make those things, so never mind. Let's just use this for now. Yeah, those are like controllers, right? That works. And then for the... Okay, so then we have this for the fingers, right? As you see here, I have the auto I key things. I think I've showed this before. The deforms here are still need some retakes, right? But we have here the auto I key thing working, and we have, of course, this these other ones which are... I need to make them some better, maybe big arrows here, yeah, or something else to differentiate, but they already have another color. So let's do this. I'm using widget, this kind of nomenclature. I found that it was easier to track. Where is the arrow? Single arrow is the name of, and then no, not scaling with bone. Then hold Alt. Then yeah, there's an add-on that I need to start to use. Those many people recommend, including that guy of P2 Design, famous for rigging courses, and so I've watched recently one. He talks about some. I already knew they exist, but then it seems like it would really be useful. I know some techniques for widget, but it really, there are some aspects that there's just no workaround to do faster job. So there is the best feature there, I think, is the, not only, there are two things that really caught my attention, was that we can simply easily symmetrize. Here I would just symmetrize the bones on edit mode, right? So I do one side and symmetrize, so it has an automation. Before it was not like that. Now Blender is improved that, but it's still some extra work just to symmetrize. It's not automatic like, and the add-on makes it much faster. Just click one button, that's done. Already on the resource, the add-on offers that. The other thing that is way more impactful is that we can edit the widget or the custom shape directly as it appears, like it appears like a fake mesh in the place where we have it. Like if I have the arrow here and the arrow is a mesh, I can edit it immediately there. So that is a game changer. I know how to do this with objects in some way, but it's tricky. Basically, we need to create the custom shape, and it needs to be offset from its origin. The origin must start in the same place as the armature, I guess, and the body, whatever, but especially then we displace the mesh. I can show a demonstration. So for example, it's an interesting technique. Let's make a demonstration here. This highlight, maybe I do this wrong. It's a bit tricky, so let's add a mesh. Maybe let's make some only face, then yes, I'm on editing this stuff, then let's make this a little cool here. So I'm gonna edit, delete this. Let's also add a mirror modifier here, because then we can do more tricks here. Also, let's do X and Y. Actually, X and Z. No. X and Y, right? Clip. Okay, delete those faces only. I don't know what's happening here. There's just... oh, there, okay. There's an extra vertex that went on the wrong direction. Okay, we got something here. Also here, let's delete this junk. All right, now we are, so G Shift Z, so it's locked on the plane of the XY plane there, the floor, right? So G Shift Z. So unfortunately, this is not like something that is too easy to do all the time. So the mirror is here, right? So I'm going to make a subdivision here, maybe Z, yeah, why not? And this doesn't need to be symmetrical, right? Although it is gonna be anyways in some way, but not totally. Yeah, more geometry here, do some crazy stuff. I don't even know what that will be for, but okay, maybe I shouldn't be wasting too much time with this. Let's make another thing here. And we can, yes, of course, also make even more alright, what about that? So we got some crazy custom shape here, and well, it's not totally a custom shape right now. Then let's say that, yeah, let's move this little here. Alright, so let's say this will be, yeah, I can scale. Okay, using the 3D cursor, that's right. Now at least okay, so we leave the origin there. Remember that I never use this, but remember this option here, this affect only origins. Oh, there is a control dot. I didn't know this shortcut. All right, so displacing the origin. So I never used this for a practical reason, but now good to know. Affect only location, so this can also be very this for bone editing. I'm thinking, does it affect the, what if the bone is connected? This doesn't seem right, but maybe it's for objects only. Anyways, then I get this, alright. Then instead of moving it up, I'll go on edit mode and I will move it up like here on edit mode, but the origin is still there, you see. Then let's say that I want this to be some head master, I don't know, something, a shower thing, maybe some sci-fi-ish thing, I don't know. Then what happens is that, you see, as I've located it here, I can totally edit, right, it in place already. But it's not still a custom shape, so what I'm going to do, okay, I forgot to put a bone, right, so let's do something here, extrude. I want just this location here. I can delete this vertex. Let's go on the armature and let's add a edit mode. Let's add a bone here. This bone, this is where so I have this shortcut for the, I've changed some shortcuts here. So this is control 1 bone names, control 2 it's something else, it's show parenting relationship lines actually. Well, doesn't seem to be, oh, there we go, yeah. But we don't see anything, right? I need to parent this to something, maybe the head bone. Let's do this. There we go. Control 3 is for axis. Control 4 is for shapes. Custom shapes, right? It needs to be on pose mode apparently. And then control 5, it's in front. Okay, this is, I don't know if that is required. So these are the shortcuts so that I've made for this. So we can easily swap between those super relevant things in rigging. So now next thing here, yeah, the axis will be necessary soon. So let's do this and bone tab. Let's recall the plane there, and we see that we have, yeah, scale to bone. Nope. Let's use the originals, and something went wrong, right? There we go. So probably what's happening is that this is respecting this object's axis, is respecting the bone's axis, and I know how this is oriented. It will be oriented like this. So if I hide the plane, still not worked. Where it is? No, it is now on the top. So you see, it's still, but this is the custom shape, yeah. So I don't know why it got this displacement. Oh, it's because of the origin. Okay. So wait, so I did, maybe the origin is the mistake here. and I'm about to do another thing. Okay, so we have the object there. Okay, it is here. Oh, I need to go on. Okay. Oh, this is the armature. This is the object. All right. So this is going up because of it's doubling the distance, right, of the origin. So that means that all right, because so this is complicated, but there is a workflow in which that could be feasible. I'm just trying to catch this back. So what happens is that I don't want to be changing this from here, although we can, right? But this will be too annoying. I want straight thing working. So and I want this to be placed here. Then I just hide it, right? Or lock its transforms for once and for all. So maybe I shouldn't be doing this now, but so the idea is that I need the custom shape of the bone appear there. So apparently I was wrong about the origin. So I'm gonna do is use this control dot thing. And now let's move this origin. Oh, the origin needs to be all right. You see, the origin needs to meet the bone. So Shift S 8. And so now they are stacking. So I can hide the plane, this thing, right? Let's bring it to the here. So you see, now this is a custom shape and I didn't have to edit anything there. So yes, that's the idea. I didn't know about that. So put the origin with thanks to this. Also, let's make sure we disable this control dot. Also, let's use the screencast keys. So control dot, right? This one to disable that. Otherwise, would be moving stuff around their origins instead of the object. That will be very annoying. So here's the bone, and of course the problem is that if I rotate the bone immediately, yes, so that means that if now I shape the object, this is a simple case because the bone is not symmetric. If the bone is symmetric, probably there are two ways. Probably I should put the origin not in the center but exactly on the bone from one side, and then the other side would be like mirrored by the bone itself. So I think that worked. It's tricky, it's bizarre, but it works, like not too. So if I were to edit this, I go here, let's hide the armature. Well, let's not hide the armature, let's just select the object. And let's also make something that will make it clear. Let's augment the wire here and leave it with a color that would be very exaggerated. So let's lock the armature maybe. Oh, I need a shortcut for locking an object, right? from here, right? Yeah, maybe this one. Add to quick favorites. Yeah, I'm out of ideas, right? So no menu item. Right, so I it doesn't work here, so right, so unfortunately we don't see very well because the color disappeared, right? So this is not so cool. Yeah, there's wireframe about this, but I don't care about this. It's just okay. I don't know, this crazy thing. So let's hide this again. Make the armature selectable, hide this widget, and as you see, edited in place. But it is just a bone here. So this is a way that makes it work. So here for this thing, alright, now let's maybe just delete this bone. I'll keep this shape, maybe I'll use for later. Alright, let's do something here. This kinematic, so I was showing for the fingers. We can do this for the arms. Let's do the arms, then the legs. Yeah. So in principle, the objects that will be suffering that, the bones, right? Would be the wrist. The wrists. It needs to be a control bone. So the deformed wrist is parented connected. I don't know. No, so it cannot respond to auto IK here. So it's useless to give it IK panel settings. These ones. Same for this, is just a floating bone. Then there would be the joint, but this is also not parented connected. So there is this mechanism, and there are two mechanism bones here actually. This is the connected one, but it is stuck. I cannot pose it. So, and it is completely bone constrained with the inverse kinematics, which locks its location already on the target, which is this mechanism. And this one on its, so this is a complicated setup. So I'm not gonna explain this. It requires some better maybe a guide, right, to make this. But it's basically the same thing as the leg. The bone constraint is in this bone, and then it targets the mechanism bone. The mechanism bone, then it's in this case it is parented to the command joint here, parent offset, and this command joint is parent offset to the master IK. So that allows me to split and instead of the mechanism bone, which is copy transforms to here, just as this is copy transformed to the mechanism. So at some point before I could pose the mechanism, but for what? The idea is that then this copy transforms here, and maybe this copy rotation. Oh no, okay. So you see, the I key doesn't give the rotation. So just to clean this stuff, this is not necessary, but just to have this alignment here is the same for the. So this target, this bone constraint here, mechanism wrist here is the target, and this bone, very importantly, it's parented, connected to there. So this is the last one, and I cannot pose it, so it's useless for me to edit for this rig. And this is just a stretch bone. This is for the pole target automation. And thanks to this, I've came back to my original approach in the simultaneous FKI key. This you can download the file, but this is an older setup. It's not so complete as this one, but there is part of it you can find on my Gumroad simultaneous I key F key. At some point I need to upgrade and place this one there. Anyways, then okay, so let's make the despite the fact I have a pole target, I want to create this for I key limits or stuff for these bones. So until the middle. Also, let's fix this now. So for these ones, I think you just need to get these. It's not here. It's viewport display, and so here I think it's -90. Yes. So let's hide all this. We don't need to be looking at those things. Maybe I can change this a little more. Let's make, I don't know, no, not here, maybe just this. Yeah, you can play then with this, what you think is better. This can be fun. It gives some although, yeah, they start to stack, so not very good. So let's try instead just to mount here, and but then they look very bad, right? So from many angles. So yeah, so this there would be better widgets for all that, right? But it's good that they are elongated, so you have this kind of easy access, right? Alright, let's do this. Maybe this one I just look a bit odd. Let's change, maybe differentiate this one a little. No, we can actually do something else here, like reduce this. Let's leave this at 1, and this one let's reduce. Helps differentiate, and this one maybe we also reduce by a lot, but I want this one to maybe be fatter. So let's give it a thing like that, right? And the one in the middle, maybe we also can yeah, now actually they could have all these same value here. Then these ones, they could yeah, maybe now we can do that. And this one, yeah, that's too much. Yeah, maybe not that much here. Let's scale this down a little more. 2000, not 2000. And here maybe a little less. Okay, so that's good. So this arrow often is very good one because it's very straightforward, very simple. Literally, arrow, very straightforward. So okay, in principle we already have set here this automation for this all these bones, right? You see this range of motion for the XZ axis, even though there are also for the Y axis which are not showing. So let's also not forget to symmetrize here. Edit mode, then symmetrize. There we go. That should work for the other side. That's it. Now I can hide this and let's focus on these joints. So here, in principle, I don't have, maybe I should pick the master bone here. Let's just select these ones so you see what we are focusing in. Let's get these like there are a lot of automation here, so this is not super relevant right now, but we can maybe I get yeah, no, actually this is important. So let's do a limit X here. I need the pole target. There's an automation for the hand as well. I was testing dump track, maybe there are some chances to create some dependency cycle, but I found two ways of doing that. It's annoying because it might need a driver. I think I'm not gonna do this today, but I lost the experiment. I deleted or I messed up the file, but didn't pay attention. Just I was not sure if I would maintain it. What's happening here to the arm? Some stretching that is not very correct. Oops. Alright. Or it's just that the upper arm is too short. Yeah, so anyways, the range of motion here for this forearm for this I know what's happening here. Of course, the pole target, yeah, it's going crazy. Hold on, what is the right? Yeah, the negative X. So this is correct. It's not a pole target problem. It's just not bending as I want. Something. No, there we go. It seems like the arm is not. As soon as I reached there, it stopped willing to bend. I don't know what happened. Okay, so let's do this to verify the range of motion. That, of course, these deforms are not very nice, right? But it's not the matter now. I know how to improve some of those things, but I just want to see, maybe this is enough for this cartoon character. So limit X here. Oh, this is not the, yeah, no, this is this bone here. So the rotation here, what was, this is a Z axis, it's not, so limit Z. I think this is the positive, no, it is the negative. So let's reduce this somewhere like here. You see it automates. It doesn't let it. I didn't knew that. I think that. All right, so it starts to get the limit. I was doing this one. All right, then we get the limit X. Now for, let's do the back bending. Or let's start building this one first, so that we can see what happens to the whole scope of motion, which is kind of helps to understand what's going on. Yeah, by moving the, accidentally I was moving this part of the shoulder, so that that won't help in, well, actually that will help to know the, let's try without moving that. Okay, so I'm trying to pick something that will work from the back side. You see that if the arm slides back, it can still go more. She's not a contortionist, but we want some interesting. Then from the front here, although there's the head, yeah, the arm cannot go anywhere, right? Even though if we bend the head, we certainly would have some, well, not this character, but the neck, we could have something more like this, right? So we want to have some good range of motion here. And for some reason, this, I'm not sure if this is correct. How come that I exceeded the range of motion? I have no idea. But anyways, if she were to do that, then we still would have also this moving, so this would help, so that we wouldn't need. So I think this amount is actually a good, no, not this one. This was a good, already a good idea, more or less like that. And for the back bending, let's use here. So the back bending of the arm, this range seems to be enough. It's quite a lot actually. More than that, I think, yeah, something like that. So here will be limit Z. Let's just reduce here. You see, it pushes, so that is helpful. This dynamic. Okay, let's accept this. So the range of motion here, so you can hide this by just taking off the relationship lines. I would prefer that those were not relationship lines, but yeah, we can hide those things. So if we are animating, we don't need to be looking at all those crazy stuff, right? So this, the upper arm is done. Now let's get the forearm. We could do a back bending. No, because we have a pole target. So limit Z, this one. Oh, I need the line here. So if I bend this arm, no, it has, no, it's here. Okay. For some reason, I'm not able to bend it. It looks like they have some limit. Oh, now I can do this. Strange. Yes, this is strange. I don't know why I can't have I picked this on like just length of 1. Maybe this is enough. No, this length of 2. Then I can do more bendings. So I don't know why this is happening. Maybe it's something about this lock here, but if I unlock this, no, where this is from? No, this bone has nothing to do with this. Alright, but yeah, it's not. Oh, I can. Yeah, the pole target. It's very bizarre. It's like I have some sort of. Oh, the limit X. No. No. It's. Alright, anyways, I have the possibility to do the other bendings, although it's unrealistic for 3D animation. For animation, I think this is very... There's even techniques for that, like broke arm. However, I cannot do this on the opposite. Ah, this will be a problem. I cannot break the arm back. So that means that pole targets are crappy. Oh, I'm breaking the arm apparently. How this is possible? It's like now the pole target inverted. No, alright. The behavior here of this thing is very strange. Alright, anyways, let's assess this. So I'm gonna use the... Let's restart this. No, it's continuing. Alright. So this... Now I don't need to rotate this other bone. I could do, perhaps I lock the elbow. So good reason here to use this spin elbow. There we go. Now I can check this range of motion here. Yeah, the arm, it doesn't need to be parallel, that would be a mistake, but for cartoony characters maybe there's a good reason for. So let's use this one. It's exaggerated, but it's Z. This one is Z. No, it's the negative. Okay, so something like that. For the back bending, oh, now I need to lock this again. Then here I don't think I can't even do that. Yeah, this so this is a shame. I haven't considered this before, but let's say if I were to do some brick of the joint, yeah, it's called brick of the joint, maybe let's skip something like that. So this could be achievable if I got temporarily disabled this pole target. Nothing happens, right? The animation hasn't begun, so now I can probably pause this. Oh, now no, it's not disabled, this is just, yeah, let's copy here, this is annoying, delete the pole target. Now you can see that I can pose, brick the joint, but it is not respecting. Is it because of this? Oh, I haven't got it to the, yeah, I need to, I was doing on the wrong bone, sorry for that. Okay, here. Yeah, so you see it breaks until there, the joint, so that is good. So this is one reason why not to use pole targets, and maybe why to use auto key, or so this is a shame actually for 3D animation. If you have the pole target that gives this limitation, right? This is shameful. Maybe in 3D animation there's no joint brick. No, bullshit. This is completely noobness. These guys that make inverse kinematics. Alright, so well, there is, at least in Blender, I don't know other software, but yeah, we have auto key. It lacks some other features, but yeah, it contemplates the it's a shame to have to delete the pole target in order to to be able to do that. But alright, it's not the case of disabling it, right? But yeah, it's, oh, hold on. Is this related to the, hold on, is that true? This doesn't seem to do anything, but yes, this is the, okay, the X is there. Aha! So it doesn't do this for some reason, it does nothing, but we can sustain the I key bound constraint. So my bad, folks. I was this is not perfect, but we can keyframe this, right? And say, okay, so bless Blender. So they thought about the brick of the joint technique of 2D traditional animation, or if they didn't think, someone told them, or it was luck. But yes, we can. Just found it out, but yeah, so that is very, very good. So I don't need to delete the pole target, I can just turn that off. And maybe this is bugged. Yeah, maybe this is a bug, because, or maybe this pole target, something about the setup of this particular keybound constraint is not working, makes it that it doesn't work. But okay, let's continue here. So I will sustain this value there, and since we don't want this to be, yeah, let's make sure, sorry, if yes, so this pole target, hold on, is this wave position? No, it doesn't seem to do anything. I think this is bugged. Rotation. But what does this just look like? Very bizarre stuff. Bizarre reaction there. This rotation thing. It affects now, it's doing crazy thing. I am not even sure if it is trying to respect this. Let's try to break the joint there. Yeah, it is affecting, but strange motion is happening from this. It's like I'm doing some 3D cursor pivot point, transform pivot point, but no, it's just rotation. What does it tell? Chain follows rotation of pole target, right? I think for 3 I key wave orientation controls for this target. Yeah, so I don't know how to use this, so doesn't seem to help. So the problem is that I want to be checking. Okay, let's do this. Then but then why does it stop following? No, this is wave position. Yeah, this is. I didn't see that. Okay, there is some displacement there, but this is not the end of the world. The rig still works, right? So it's not. But the problem is that this is rendered useless because I would have to oh, I can do that, of course. What I couldn't do is wait, I can do the brick of the arm. Oh no, it is an illusion. Wait, I can. I'm not dreaming. This is delusional. This is the z-axis, so the arm is really breaking. So yes, I was wrong again. So we can do everything because of this setup. So I don't know if this happened because the way the special way I've doing this this whole rig setup, but maybe it would be that for rigs that use pole target that don't have this kind of chain here that we can control, well, anyone could do that. Just pick this and do a auto I key, right? So with a chain length of 2 at least, then we can break the arm, and then we can have this thing to operate. Now I can also do the same thing for this rotation, which is if you check your own arm, yeah, the arm has some range of motion here, which is quite a lot. Not so much, but nearly as much. So something maybe because it's cartoony, let's do this. So it'll be like something. Yeah, so here auto I key, advanced technique. Let's do this, and yeah, the deforms are terrible, but this doesn't matter now. So let's bring that up for this bone here. Let's get it. So everything in principle will works. Is the not stiffness, not this one. It's here. So okay, so this one, that seems good. Then we need to check the oh yeah, now bending. Yeah, we've decided already for that. No, hold on, did we? Yes, it was this bending, I remember now. We did it already. It's a bit similar to this one. Wait, maybe I didn't do that. Okay, let's try to pin here. It will facilitate. So I'm gonna look for the arm, the forearm mesh, and ignore the what is this equivalent to. Yeah, well, it is actually not very visible, right? So no, it's too confusing. So let's try again. Okay, I think we did it. So next is, because this is cartoon, so I can break the joint here as well, rotating on the x-axis. So here I'm not gonna do too much, but I'll go a bit more than the back. Actually, I want to even, yeah, let's not exaggerate too much on this, but this is kind of maybe useful. Yeah, even more would be useful, but let's start with something like that. So this will be, now this is Z, right? Is it Z? No, I think this is, no, it is this this one. I confused the Z-axis here, so this is, okay, let's try this, and I think I still have the other range of motions. Yes, apparently nothing was lost. So here This is quite time consuming for the first time because I've never did that. So this is the kind of stuff that we want annotations. Some study of human range of motion. I was looking for that. I couldn't find that. I mean something very complete for every joint, for every essential, the most important joints in the body. So I would. So here for this should be not so complicated. Let's get here and let's. Oh, there's the limit. Yeah, this thing also. I want lock Z. This one is hard because there is no information. I probably would like to have some limits for this too. So I have to visualize positive and negative. This is no, this is motion. I can't seem to find to compare, so I'm not really sure if this is okay. Let's assume this is negative and this is indeed positive. So negative maybe 45, or now this is a lot of artifact, 90 degrees twisting, right? Yeah, so maybe this is not a bendy bone, so maybe that could be improved. So 45 here, and let's see my own. The wrist is more important, so the wrist twisting is another thing. But let's see here. Yeah, for the elbow maybe 45 to the front, so it would be something like negative negative 45, like half, right? And then yeah, the question is that this doesn't rotate alone. It rotates with the shoulder or the upper arm, right? It's a mix of stuff. So the positive, I'll get it a bit more. Just let's leave at this. Just to make sure we got it. Or yeah, maybe, I'm not sure. Let's leave it 45 to avoid artifacts. And then here we're gonna get more. So here I'm sure that, no, I'm not even sure. So you can rotate the triceps. Yeah, we can do some radical twistings here, apparently, even if it's not the shoulder exactly. But yeah, let's do a negative 90 and 90 here, because if that rotates, disconnected bones should also rotate, and then this would be like bizarre to have. Okay, but then at the same time it rotates alone, so this is the interesting part. Yeah, so maybe this range of motion should be, no. Let's leave it like that for now. I don't think I'll have problems with that, but I'd like to make experiments in the future. Here, for this one, here I already imagined that the shoulder shouldn't get too much, so let's just get a negative 15 and positive 15. Maybe it deserves a little more than that. Yeah, let's double this just in case. So here I'm manually rotating, so it doesn't count. But if I were to do some sort of I key, like here I'm trying to do, that would have those limits. So it would be very hard to curve this, but it could happen. Like, I don't know, maybe on some thing here. And of course we need to be testing some of those. Okay, so for the shoulder, the up thing, okay, the shoulder can't rotate inwards from the back too much because like, right, you can do that. Of course the mesh could be changed. So this is not the master shoulder, by the way, so this is not something that we want here because of the way this is connected. Let's say if I pick this and I get the joint here, you see this is the master shoulder, so this will be very bizarre to correct this way. So by just limiting this, I avoid having to manually correct here. So if I really want to do something about the shoulder here, yeah, so let's change this. I don't think this is a good idea. So, but it's certain that the shoulder can be put down. So, but not too much, and usually in relation to the other side, or no, not necessarily. So we can have some range of motion like here. So let's say this will be a $25, maybe, yeah, 25. So it should be here. You see, it's the inverse. So the rotation, it's local rotation, that's it. So negative 25 then. Okay, so this and up is wrong. We want a lot more. So here, yeah, this is not exactly, I'm basing from the tip of the joint, not the here, of course. So this looks like some, not even, well, it can go more actually if we leverage the whole arm. So actually this is a bit crazy. It could be even 90 degrees. So yes, we can do something crazy here. I didn't expect that. So let's leave. I think this is risky, but I've tested. Apparently on my body it does seem possible to but the deforms, yeah, maybe this is too much, but we, hold on. No, that's fine, that's fine. I think we can handle that, and then we can still correct here with the master shoulder. And these deforms, you need a lot of corrective stuff here. So let's do a positive 90, that's it. Then here is more interesting for the sides or back. So RZZ. So this is a positive and this will be a negative. So the negative here, it's I think 30 degrees. And for cartoony, that looks, it could be more, right? Doesn't look too exaggerated. Yeah, it could, we could do more, maybe 45 then. No, this is the wrong. Alright, this, why I have all these bones showing here? Of course, the deforms are not helping too much, but also alright, maybe that looks good enough, yeah. And here for the front, this deform is terrible. Let's also do, I think the shoulder can go way more here. It's nearly 90 degrees. I'll put a negative 70. Oh, by the way, it's already rotated, so we could go more here. Yeah, maybe this is extremely exaggerated, but I like this. We'll see later. If I can align this bone, if that's even possible, because it is connected, I cannot really, unless I made a subdivision, but that would, I don't think that will be a great idea. Maybe for the clavicle, let's see. There's the shoulder. No, it's not like there are too many joints here, so I don't think that will be a good idea to do that. Alright, so let's continue here. We solved this tree. Took a while, but let's try now for something that we have still this tree. The legs here, yeah, it takes a while also to solve that, so let's try. Do they have any? Alright, so let's start with just one side. This should be enough. Need 2 auto key. Alright. Okay, so this maybe we already accept. This will be a yeah, I can't know from here. Hold on. This one is tough because I cannot rotate it immediately. I don't see what's happening, so okay, now there's a way. Let's disable this. XX, so this is positive and this is negative. So this should be the same here. XX along local X, positive and negative. Alright. And here we can, I never memorized this, and so the positive towards the X there, right? Positive and negative, there we go. So let's go back. Need to, forgot to enable Alright, so this is of course an exaggeration, but we got, that's good enough. Let's get here and bring this to negative X of oh, I have some values here playing. What's all that? Oh yes, so indeed, let's meet this there. Okay, we don't go more than that. Apparently this is just then for the side, if we have Z, well, let's do the brick of the joint thing. That should be enough. So this is there. Now this, the value here is okay, anything like that. So don't worry, this is not going to maintain too much. It's just a question of there we go. She unbroke the joint. So now it will be hard to brick again. I need to pick this together and then do the bending. There we go. And then to get out of this sometimes it's difficult if I try to do this with two. So just, I think if I brick the joint here and I just pose with then the I key is crazy. So I need to, this is why I need to unbrick here. Alright, so no pole target sometimes is also a bit tricky, but it's not too hard, just must get used to it. So here for the side, these can be quite expressive in cartoons, especially anime. They do a lot, not so much this, but this should be useful. So let's get some I don't know this, but this looks weird, so we want some, so maybe something like that. It's also a brick of the joint, so this can be very useful for certain poses. So yeah, maybe this is, let's get limit Z here. Oh, I already have a good range of motions here. Let's try this. Then for the other, let's do, so in anime this other one is very used, especially in feminine characters. I'm having some difficulty, this stiffness, I think. So maybe we, yeah, this is the max. So I don't know about this, if this, yeah, anyways, it's a lot more. No, not a lot, just a little more. So let's just do a bit more and that's it. Okay, so this is, it will be hard to get this pose, but this is why the stiffness here of the Z could be important, not so much of the X. And then the Y, well, this is the same problem of here. I don't know if it needs to be like, hold on, if I use the pole target here, maybe I could verify this. I'm not sure how that works. Let's try this out. Yeah, it will follow the parent, right? So it can do anything. It disregards the, what if I, oh, actually this is the Y, right? Maybe, hold on, maybe it doesn't disrespect. So let's try to reduce this. Now it disrespect. Yeah, this is not good. They should fix that in some way, because then I can totally, or what I would prefer is that they got some rotational thing, icon visualization, just as the other ones, so I don't have this. So inwards we can at least try to see if some, let's see, this would be about how much? Maybe I can use the pin joint here, that should help. And yeah, I'll have to check here. This is not helping because I cannot rotate along. This is negative and this is positive. Very hard to visualize here. Well, maybe this, yeah, they are aligned, so rotate YY. Yeah, I remember that. So positive and negative towards the Z, the X. So let's give it a 45 degrees and then yeah, 45 both. I hate when this happens. All right, then this could be maybe somewhat, yeah, something like that. The stiffness is something I haven't decided too much. Let's work on this one now. So the type joint, so of course the deforms here are gonna be terrible. There's no correcting system yet. We're gonna make this later. So here we already see there's some limitation here, and this should be this X motion. I think it's needs to be more. Looks like we're missing something. Okay, let's say that this will be correct. Back bending. This character could do something like that. That would be negative 120, maybe a little more. Yeah, that. How it does more if maybe it's because of the other bone. No, the other bone is stiff. I'm not. Yeah, there was still one. Yeah, so sometimes for some reason it fails. I think the bone is twisting. No. Yeah, so sometimes it just fails for some unknown reason. I have the limit X. So I'm gonna try to ignore that. Let's say that it worked. It was more or less what I wanted. And then the side bending outward. Terrible deforms going on. But it's more or less like this. So this would be even a little more, maybe Yeah, we already set that, so something like here. All right. And inward you see that I've already set this value to something like here, so even back. So there's this arc here. So maybe a human normally can't do this that extended, but she would be able to. It's animation, and it's just a limit just to avoid certain excesses. But yes, we could actually reduce this to avoid some unnecessary things, right? So maybe this is wiser. Here we see that maybe this is too much, so maybe we'd never be able to use this because of the intersections anyways, so we could yeah. So I think this is then I believe the rest is the interaction with the X. No, I'm confusing. This is the oh yes, because I'm reducing, right? Reducing this range, of course. Because it started very high, so negative started there, right? So we just went all the arc backwards towards 0, so this should be yeah, so this arc inwards shouldn't be, it can indeed be that low because it's just unlikely. No, there's something wrong. I think again I'm losing the limits. Yeah, something stops working suddenly. Well, here I would have other now it is working, but yeah, this is not the one we are looking for, is the other one. This, yeah, so here we can see, yeah, a trick that is this we were able to do. So here now this is another problem because this is something that would be original rigging here. This bone, I don't know how other riggers would do it, but this is a special setup, and I'm gonna even try to make this more special if I get this a deformed bone here. There is some studies, medical studies, anatomic studies, right? It indicates that there is what they call socket ball joint for the hip bone with the femur and bone. So this socket ball joint, actually the thigh itself, its joint, it has a maybe very slight motion, but it has a, besides that it rotates, like there's would also be a displacement along all the certain motion, all the motions in all directions, or because there are some structure there that would maybe not exactly on all directions, this I'm not sure, but at least at least laterally, like here, it would displace. So I have, so the idea is that I need to get this bone here. This is a controller, but I need to automate it in some way, and this creates dependency cycle with inverse kinematics. Unless we do, I found, unless of course this is automated already through inverse kinematics, which can be very inaccurate, because if I rotate the foot, let's try, I maybe it works, but I'm not sure. So let's say for example I get this rotation here, but I want auto key to work because this is not on the regular bone constraint here. So let's use a 3. So this would be more likely. So this is not creating dependency cycle, and I'm still affecting this, but in a way that is not super accurate, also because this 3D cursor pivot point, it's not, it's a mess, right? I don't think I'm actually being able to have a good control over that. So maybe this, so there's many complications, as you can see. So the idea is that either I make a chain of 3, which I believe would be very difficult. So, and it will, just as here I made a chain of 2 only for the normal, and if I want to extend, then I just use this other system, right? So I think it's more, it will be better, so I'm not even bothering. Maybe I can try, but I don't have much confidence that this would be a good idea, but we can do it and see what happens. Apparently we got some crazy thing going on, I don't know why, so let's just not do this. So nothing to do here in this particular setup. So I'm going to, I have to address this with the auto I key. As I was already expecting in one of the possible things. So we need to find ways. So this one is probably, yeah, so you see this, it's a Z, actually everything rotates there. That's crazy. So it will rotate on the, so it would, imagine this would be like the ball thing. I have already mapped something. So basically the ball will be here, So the femur would have something like here. Oh, this is not working. Where's my annotations going? Oh, there they. Okay, so maybe I delete them here. Let's try again. 3D cursor. Now let's view. So basically, this system is not good yet, but I need a deformed bone that would be. So there will be a mechanism bone. Yeah, this will be the mechanism bone already, a control bone that is a mechanism bone that can already work. Because anyways, it's connected there. Yes, so there would be this range of motion on here. So the ball joint hips, it would be it will require some x, yeah, this xz here. So that means that this thing will be ranging, this bone here will be doing this motion. It's in 3D, right? Will be doing this motion, so it will generate this concave thing, like not that exaggerated, but something like that. And then it would also be able to rotate, like twist, right? Twist in actually this twisting. All right, I just see the x-axis. Actually, it's the type rotating inwards, and the x-axis here would represent. No, I'm confusing things here. The problem is that this type already has a y rotation. Yeah, so this can be pretty confusing if it twists here because of the parenting connection. Yeah, so I'll try to make something stable, but that is quite complicated because the bones, the rotation, right, is a mess, complete mess, because you don't have real control about them on bones. You have to create these controls, so it's really not very easy to, it's not given, right? So we cannot have a bone structure to operate like in sync regarding rotations. It's super annoying in my experience. So let's see what we can do here with this again. So I'm gonna pick these two. We'll require a new okay, I'm gonna also pick this. All right, and now let's get a even selection set here. Hips assign. All right, so we're gonna get another area here. You're gonna look very closely here. At this axis if we can. And then from this angle we are going to try, I could even make animation here. Something odd is happening about the rotation there. No, it was just something that I paused probably. This won't help much. Okay, so it's not moving because I need to augment. Need to select this and augment this. Okay, so now we see that the range of motion is exaggerated. We don't want that, so this is why we need, this is a good thing that, so we could start locking everything and see. So here it's all locked. Alright, so you start unlocking. So let's start with a Y rotation. Unlock the Y. So you see it is twisting, and this actually represents simply the following. So this is not on its own. This is, why not having that if that would control some mesh rotation twisting. So this could be helpful, but the synergetic rotation is actually not super good, so I doubt this will be actually useful because we can abstract it, I guess. It could cause some problems. It is left in place anyways. Yeah, but I like how it can something really weird about the tilting here. Something that maybe I need to augment the stiffness of some, I think it's usually the, yeah, let's augment this stiffness here. Usually we do a lock on z-axis even, but stiffness can help there. So here, oh, of course, we need to use the this. Alright, now we see. Alright, so I'm gonna lock this to start with. I need to reduce it too much, right? So 3. Why? Yeah, unlock maybe. Why it is locked in place now? Or is just, no, it is, it suffered some, it doesn't want to reset for some reason. Maybe I moved the armature, right? There you go. I moved something upward the chain and it was invisible, so let's just reselect here only what we need, and let's not make this mistake again. It is chain length of 3 if I select this one. Alright, this. Now let's go back. I'm still having this problem. Yeah, very annoying. Okay, I don't know why I'm not able to control this now. Something happened after I've made this stiffness. Alright, sorry about the noise here. It will stop anytime. And alright, so let's pick this G. Okay, 3 still happening. Very crazy. It's like it's trying to find something. What if I lock here then? Now it goes in the other direction. Yeah, so this gets, this is easy to control, but as soon as I pick the third bone or even a second bone with auto I key, I start to have madness. It wasn't like that for the arm, so it's something I'm getting from this, something here that is not responding well. Let's try reducing those stiffness. Maybe those are causing this. It is lagging the armature, the skeleton, so it is causing some disruption. No. Maybe this excessive. The Z. Yeah, it's the Z. But I'm afraid that might not be enough. Oh, hold on. Maybe this is happening because I need to unlock those things because I'm using another bone. And that bone might be the one, because it's stiff, it's just locking everything else. No, it's not the case. Oh, I need to unlock it. Alright. No, but it's still super chaotic. So let's try to just then do what I didn't want. That's lock Z here. Maybe we can unlock Z from others in other ways. This is still too crazy. Yeah. So this is full free. But you see how it sort of helps for some expressions, even though this is not acceptable, right? I would like to reach the thing for the okay, so let's say the Y should be just repeat of this one, right? Of the x of this one. So like positive y would be, so this negative y should be equivalent to the now I don't know what is the positive y up. Oh yeah, I can know by here the value, yeah. So I remember length bending forward, positive x, so the negative y here is like here. So let's get this limit right. So negative would be this value here. And the positive would be this other value here. Yeah, actually here. And let's reset this. And we won't give any stiffness to that. Now for the z, maybe the z, it's not so much relevant. The z is really equivalent to the so that's yeah, so you see this is too much, so we don't want that kind of exaggeration, so maybe just this. So limit z, or is that limit z or limit x? Oh, it was as x. Okay, so the x, so we don't want, so x, we don't want too much, so it's not responding. Okay, it is responding, so maybe this should be good. Since we are here, let's do a little more. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's a bit too much. It's not responding as it should, so strange. Now it's reset. Okay, then for the back, or actually the not the back, sorry, the here moving up, we would like to have, yeah, there's already a limit here. So you see how this can be extremely useful for, in theory, for even the forms, right? Because it will be a layering of the wave painting. My conclusion is that if we have a great mesh geometry for that region, which is quite complicated to have a great mesh topology there, if we can layer the face loops along with the wave painting of the thigh, the hip thigh joint, and so the hip femur joint, right, the ball joint system, but it's more of a region for us. for the mesh and the wave painting, so it's just an abstraction for 3D art. So we got this thing, these joints here for the Z. Maybe they are not too exaggerated, but maybe that's the range of motion we want. And here for finally this the Z now, which should be actually this and this. So this is too much. Let's limit Z. Yeah, it's not resetting. I don't know how far this would need to go. It's already being limited by other settings, so maybe we should do a little more here. So all this is actually a bit experimental, especially regarding this. Yeah, mostly all experimental, because I never see much tutorials doing this. Actually, I never seen a tutorial on iKey doing this stuff, right? For the maybe once in a while I saw something that I can't really remember. So I don't have a mapping of this. The only thing that I remember is the lock Z axis, sometimes other axis. Okay, this seems to be good enough. And then for the front, we need also to get, maybe here we want, no, it's not Z. This is the wrong bone. It's here. I hope I didn't accidentally. Now I don't remember anymore. Well, we can look at it. This one, it looks a little strange, doesn't it? Compared to no, it's like that. Yeah, it's a very wide range of the type, right? And then we need for also, let's reset some bones here. Remake our selection set here. Okay, so we are fixing this one. We just needed the frontal Z now, right? Yeah, G3 auto length key 3. So this is not a number that I put, this is just scrolling 3. Right, it's hard to move, but it looks like I need more of, but it's not responding. Is the Z, right? Of course this Z seems absurd. So let's get, it's maxed out, I think. So yeah, so we're gonna reduce this. Maybe this already helps. So this is sort of the real shape of the, well, it represents the ball socket joint of the hip femur. And so this joint here, the joint is actually would be here, not here. This is not a joint, this is just the connection of the bone to the center, right? So this is unfortunately here I would do this offset, but then I will disconnect the I key, and this maybe I make some test and see if that is any valuable value on doing that, but I think this is not good. So you see that the problem is this madness that happens sometimes. But if we can have this in a smooth motions and according to the posing, but it's very hard to get anything good here because of the interaction of the crazy interaction. There's very little control. The I key, even maybe with a perfect setting here we could do something. So let's try something like augmenting the stiffness of the okay, this is align Z to the top, but maybe I should do this instead so that it's better aligned with maybe this changed something. Oh yeah, this sort of well, this is just a change of the I don't think it will make the rig better, but at least the Z is facing the same Z of the type, but so you see this displacement of the type can be helpful for this area. I already tried this the clamped two-bone constraint. I think it won't cause some, but of course this is not how I want this to be out. This kind of thing to be automated according to the foot or the rotation of the type. Like, it is very hard to have this follow the, because it's not a path exactly, might be, but it's an area that will depend on the direction of the forces implied. So it's very subtle also, so maybe it can be ignored, but it's on the, maybe it could be worked as a corrective bone only. Maybe I know that if we want to automate it, it easily creates dependency cycle, but it solves itself, but it's not clean, and there so yeah, if you pose manually, this gives a lot of extra control already for this, but this is not sufficient to solve deforms. Of course, there's no deform bone here yet. So what I need to do is, okay, for some reason I keep getting, yeah, because I picked the rest rate. Alright, so we have this I think I'm struggling with something that I'm not sure what it is. For some reason also this custom shape has not the oh yeah, that was a custom color that I alright. And here of course the problem is that it is good on this kind of rig to be able to see at the bendy bones, so you can pick them. We can, at least for the bendy bones, it's nice to be, so instead of having this kind of idea, which is cool for grabbing the bones, stylish, right, but we lose the, we don't see the, so maybe what could be done, and the problem is that Blender doesn't have a controller for a controller. It doesn't work that way. That should be a request thing, like you can't control this bone with another bone because it's connected like that. And so these bones, either we pose them directly or they can, nothing can be done about them except rotation. So it would be nice if we could have a bone constraint that control, how do you call this, there's no even technical name for this that I know, so I think in the drivers there's something about that, is transform space, local space, but there's something else, it's the direct posing. And then there is yeah, so these will be local coordinates. I don't remember now. Location of the head bone. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, so in principle I think this is local coordinates, but it doesn't tell the difference between the so I need to create this system, right, for this hand here. Let's make this I don't know how riggers do that, so maybe I know an add-on that used to do something that aim constraint, something like that, so do something like that. It will be here, for example, let's add a, yeah, it can be in this layer, so here I could add a bone here. Last time I did it, yeah, so I tried to simplify, so if you have like so dump a track allows for this, right, but then you have to animate it, right, if you don't want this aiming anymore, which is actually, it's just a keyframe thing, so it's not a big deal, right? So I think this is actually pretty useful, because it's very annoying to be... So maybe if even leave this by default, right, is actually good. So we can do something about this, I don't know. Widget circle, no, not circle, but sphere, write this, and then and yeah, we could also there would be another way that I've found. It's not too difficult to build something on this kind, but we could also get something a bit weirder, like, let me try to remember. I've added another bone, parented this to that other bone. No, it was not that. Yeah, anyways, this setup, it's simpler and it's quite effective. So it's this, I'm gonna call it, I don't know, aim hand left, and why not, let's just get this and this and symmetrized, and then we could maybe do a aim foot left, and forgot the batch rename. And for this one, maybe we can have, let's see how that would work. Well, we'll try immediately. Dump track, and yeah, so maybe this should be on the level of the foot, which is this thing. Yes, so actually, yes, the orientation there. How do you bring this? Okay, shift there, then move here. This was not properly renamed. Something wrong about these bones that... Oh, okay, this is the left, this is the right, there we go. No? I remember, renamed everything. And left. What is happening? How many bones are here? Okay, the hand is right, the foot is not right. Okay, now they work. All right. So here, then maybe, I don't know, let's place them by default here. Maybe it's not so good idea for the food, but the cool thing is that, yeah, then if we are, oh, maybe this could be parented to the, yeah, why not? Let's parent this to the, this stuff, right? So could help. For some automation, I don't know. It starts in the other one. All right. There we go. Then we need to symmetrize this one. I never did that in this way, so this is okay, it happened. So we can't, apparently this parenting is the cause. So no, I'm not parenting this stuff. So is it because of the rotation or the location? Let's just reopen this and see what happens. Okay, reopening Blender, getting because I need to get rid of, make sure there won't be any, yeah, dependency cycles, no dependency cycles, that's good. Alright, so oops, lost the pose. Alright, so yeah, no parenting here. You see that it's deforming because of this stretching, but that's we can just limit scale of this if we get annoyed by that. Yeah, like minimum 1, maximum 1. No, it's not working. World space. Okay, so then symmetrize, and here, well, let's just Shift Alt C. There we go. This happens because of this mechanism which stretched, and they are directly parented to this stretching bone. And so we could get here to change their relation to not inherit scale, or maybe change something here, but this this would, I don't like this, is a bit too secret. If we forget this, if we scale the character, then it will not inherit it. It's a bit strange, right, the way it is, but it makes sense that it's here. But it would be like the least thing I would look for if something goes wrong, so it's not super cool. I prefer that would be something like here, right? If it could control this inheritance through some bone constraint here immediately. Alright, so you see, this is one problem of this approach. We sort of lose the rotation here. And so this, I totally forgot about this. So the other setup, it's a bit more complicated, it's not so straightforward, but it can solve this. We have no way to solve this from here. unless we reduce the influence, but then we lose the aim. So besides it's annoying, we don't have full control of the rotations. It's very particular in this case. So as good as this seems, it's not that good actually. Unless we don't want to, we just want the foot to follow. So the other method would be something like this. So let's say I get here, let's add a bone. I remember it's something about copy rotations, so let's align here. So I'll turn this off, and I want this bone to be copying the rotations of this one. It's the opposite. Copy rotation, so now this bone can control the rotation there. And here local space, actually local owner orientation, and before original. So this way they don't interfere. And then I can here Control C target copy selected constraint. This is inbuilt add-on, free. It's already just add enable it. It's copy attributes, dump track here. So Control C to copy stuff, then, and so here this is dump track to aim foot. So now of course, now the problem is that this starts with some strange rotations, right? So I need to sort of get its base at here, if I think this is right. Oops. But then this bone, it gets, of course I cannot parent it, because if I parent, that would be, I think that is wrong. So what I can do instead is to get it to copy. Okay, let's reset first. Not that it's required. Then copy location. No. To the foot, head, and pull space. Yes, that's it. I think that's the case. Apparently that created apparently there is a problem here. But you see, technically that would be that. I think I can solve this changing the target here. Not totally sure. Let's try the other joint. this one, right? Map, no, this is map ankle. Where is my control ankle? Oh, it is there. Why this map ankle? Oh, it has, I see. It has inherited some. It doesn't need this. And then let's reset, symmetrize this. For some reason the color is bad. These are just mechanism bones, so it's not. Also, white is. Alt M, let's change it to mechanism here. Okay, now we see these map ankles. Finally, let's change the target here. Let's save. I'm not sure that will. Yeah, it's still. Oh, it's not this copy location. Actually, it's the copy rotation. Yeah, so this. As this copy, I don't understand what's really going on. This bone copies rotation, but it's not parented, so why this is. When it aims. Oh, I see. There's some strange. Interaction here. This is probably the cause, so this copy rotation. Okay, and does this... maybe it's because of this copy location that rotates is causing some influence to the other bone inversely. No, that doesn't make sense. Let's turn off auto I key for a moment. So I need to get this into some... You know what? We can do that. Pick the bone. So there is a way to do this. I never used in animation because I don't animate too much so far, but I've learned that trick. So we have the another add-on inbuilt, need to just enable, is the where is it? Well, it should be somewhere here. Oh, select. Okay, it's the selection set. So that means I can even shortcut that. I made a D shortcut for the current. So you can make this. So this is the recommendation. Selection set. So that means that I don't need to be picking, for example, these two bones. If I want, I can make a selection set for them. So, for example, this is the leg auto I key. Couple, yeah, like so. Oh, but this is just okay. Yeah, I'm selecting other thing. How do I enable this one? Of course, I need to assign. So that would be this. Then, no, still not working. So remove all that. Now, why my selection? Okay, this looks like a bug. I don't know what's going on, folks. It selects everything, even though there is... Okay, this I cannot understand, but anyway, so that means that I can make a selection set for these two bones. So basically I would put this exactly there, and then I don't have to parent it. I just pick them together. I can change its shape so that will be, I don't know, looking more like something that is relevant. And so here we just pick them two, and we have the and even why not so yes, it's Blender. There are a lot of creative possibilities, and maybe that would be the ideal bone constraint or some add-on. That's probably there's some add-on that does that, but then you have to learn the add-on, download, sometimes buy the add-on, know the add-on. So it's like, it's great, but if the add-on takes too long to get into, to learn, like it needs some time to reshape and workflow, so it must be very It's good to explore, right? Be open-minded, but sometimes it's just better to use stuff like that are handy and very straightforward. That here in this setup I don't even need to keyframe this. Of course this will be keyframed, but auto keyframing, right? Auto keying. So it's like really simple, and I think I use this, and there might be a way to get this in sync there. Right now I do not know, so let's try again. No, there's still... Alright, so apparently this copy rotation is not working. So, well, that it sort of works, right, folks? But it's... but with that little detail of the error. So I don't want the dependency cycle at this point unless it would be absolutely necessary. This is a standable dependency cycles. There must be aware of that. Certain dependency cycles are they are solved on their own. Blender can solve them and it just stops, while others would be infinite looping crazy, and then would be like so is it copy rotation? What is this going on? Looks like something is... Yes, I don't see, unless this is the... This bone has nothing, right? So maybe I made some mistake in parenting or another bone, another structure, so now this is going crazy. Okay, last time could be the dumped track, but why it is calling... Okay, it was this copy rotation. So apparently my other method, maybe I didn't check properly, and it keeps having problems. It had problems and I need to reinvestigate. Anyways, this can work by default, so I'm gonna delete this. It's the simplest aim thing, but we don't have control here unless we disable this, or... So this is tricky. I don't like this, but I like this automation here. So this is actually pretty useful. And this even more. That we can pose this anywhere. So that will be some way to do this, and I leave it on because it seems to be often very nice for a lot of motion. All right. Anything else we've already... Yeah, there is the spine. This, I think... This looks too much, right? Yeah, I've rotated this and I think I've lost the original value, so let's turn this like this again, Z pointing up, so now now I have this, and this is more likely. So even though it is not working perfectly, this will require a bit way more experimenting and also some fixing of the... What is actually the mechanism that I found here for the... Oh yeah, I remember. It was for the... This is for the brick of the joint, but if we keyframe, but actually we can do this already with this technique here, with these double picked bones. It's a bit tricky right now for some reason after those. Yeah, there you go. But it creates a lot, it's creating a lot of things. This is probably because of the... of all the... Well, there is a Z lock, so I don't know why I cannot do this anymore. There we go. But that was tough. It seems that it is rotating too much on the y-axis. Ah, there we go. Too strong thing here, right? Yeah, it is still hard, but we can... But this is not very smooth, right? So it's actually terrible and confusing, so this is not... yeah, for keyframing we can fight against the until we get it right, but I think the... Let's try with... Yeah, so apparently, not sure, but looks like that locking Z, no. Maybe it relates to the other upper bone as well. Ah, yes, there you go. Ah, so I cannot lock Z. Aha. Yeah, the lock Z makes it painful. There we go. So now we have smooth brick of the joint for 3D animation, maybe. And okay, let's straighten this up and try to... Okay, solved. Now the joint is bricked in... No, it's not broken. And actually those... I'm not able to rotate properly this... not that this is causing anything, but... Where would be the new bones here? They are... Maybe I should bring them to extra controls, right? So control others maybe. maybe this joint, yeah, let's put everything here together. Yeah, like, why not, right? So I don't need this one layer anymore. Let's delete it. So these are control extra skeleton here, be the base I key thing, right? Although there are many other stuff here. The idea of having the fingers like here is not very good, because usually we want to edit everything, and then if I want to reset, they are never together, so maybe I should get the fingers here. Bring them to skeleton. Okay, so this is the skeleton, and yes, so now this is pretty nice. But there is a problem with the skeleton, is that of course we might want a bit more than that, right? We might want to have this also, these ones and these ones, so yeah, a lot of stuff we want at the same time. So maybe we should put these in the same, right? Like master or control, right? So though sometimes we want total simplicity, right? So I'm still investigating what is better here. Yeah, so many things here, probably we don't want these extras. And the controls of the spine, they are so useful. Well, we can have things showing, right? Yeah, we can have multiple layers, but I find it confusing, because then we pick many bones from different layers, then many things can go wrong. Deform rig, so pin rig, so the pin rig is more like a utilitarian at this point. This could go for the this could go actually to the extras, so it doesn't it isn't it's all related, right? So you just need to maybe reorganize those things in some way. I think they were displaced, right? So let's undo this. After some change, accidental change. And then the positioning of these ones, they could go anywhere, right? So maybe push them to the back would be better. So in the level of the knee, maybe. They are not, they are too on the level of the yeah, so here also some stuff that I'll have to look at later. Too many stuff going on these extras, right? So that is why maybe it will be I'll find some, and then here the mechanism, deform, and this is just some organizational stuff. So that's it, folks. We got not a lot of things done today, but that was time consuming. We got the arms, legs, shoulders, hips for IQ. Well, maybe now just the center, right? Neck and the whole spine, and maybe some hips. So let's just redistribute here. Well, yeah. Remaining center. So this will be, then I need to make some sort of tutorial that I will show all those human things, and spine cluster. Oh, this was done. Yeah, I did that today actually. I found this solution that maybe I'm gonna show quickly if I didn't before. Yeah, a lot of things remaining, but we got some progress at this. So basically the solution was that we got back the spine here that works in sync with Auto I key, right? F key up and I key back, and then this bone here is different. It's for this swing. It is a master hip. So basically That's what it does, right? So this, it doesn't have the ideal automation, right? We have these other ones that are this for now is parented to this, which is actually the master torso. This is the master center of gravity, or CUG. So this moves everything. Well, maybe it's missing some stuff, but for now let's leave it like that. Let's solve this. I think this will not be a problem. Or maybe instead of the center of gravity, parent this to the, yeah, so center of gravity, but maybe these ones to the root bone. I don't know, I want this stuff to be following, right, the character, except these ones, right, because if we have to lock in place, yeah, maybe the aim stuff we parent to the root bone, yeah. The pin too, yeah. We parent this to the root bone, because the root bone would be more hard to move than the center of gravity. I think the idea of the center of gravity is also to be able to move the whole character without having to actually move the root bone, so it's more versatile and it doesn't have the problem of this, right, of the inverse kinematics. Here, let's remember, if I remember, try to see if I can control this. How would I do that? I think I had at some point a rig that would cover this. Right now, yeah, okay, we have this kind of thing. Yeah, so I can do a lot of things, even if I pick, no, not this, but no, the inverse kinematic doesn't work that way. Okay, this is not super good. I had a setup where I could do something, but yeah, never mind. We don't have this leg to torso, a lot of automation, a lot of nor torso to I was using the wrong one. Yeah, so this is locked. Yeah, the F key stops here, so some bones here I definitively need more. Here it doesn't expand, so this is where it would be nice to have some sort of chain that would I could go inversely towards the top, but it's not the case, so I don't have this sort of control. It's too hard to mix two motion of the spine. Okay, so this is the cluster here. So this is what I've solved today. Found a way that would made it. So I have just this one going up, and then this is the middle sort of. Then here is no lower spine. This is just hips. So the deformed bone for the hips is part of the spine there, B bone, and so you see the chain follows there. Not a chain, these bendy bones there, they form bendy bones, they go until the coccyx, which would be right the end of the spine, will be about here, I guess, but for the deformed bones here, we can make this different, but this is representative. It doesn't need to be on the place of the bones exactly. So then tomorrow, folks, is just planning, so I'm gonna complete this. We're almost done with that. Then we address this twisting feature where they might be required with bendy bones. I already got bendy bones, but not for the spine, but even the spine could receive some twisting. I think it has already twisting feature. Yes, so there is automated twisting feature for that. That's great. Then what about the neck here? This bone is locked, so let's try here. So here we don't look, but we'll need to maybe spin this one. The F key seems to not be allowing this twisting, but I believe this would cause twisting on an in different ratios, or are they equal? Yeah, they sound to be equivalent, so this is not very nice. Here I don't see any effective twisting with this Ike motion, at least not. There would be eventually, but it's very subtle. It's hard to control this rotation. the twisting, but it happens occasionally in some degree, right? So with some, yeah, we can make this twisting manually. Okay, this seems to be causing effect. Yeah, the mesh definitely is twisting, so the spine, indeed, by this simple structure, we don't rotate this one, so we could have even more, but we have sort of twisting madness there. So that is quite powerful. You see neck in one direction, upper torso in another direction, lower torso in even another direction. Yeah, so this is great, right? This is what we want for some expressions used even in impossible ways, right? So we want similar stuff for the all that is going here. So probably this shoulder deformed bone, so it could be a bendy bone, the upper arm a bendy bone, forearm a bendy bone. This doesn't need to be a bendy bone, nor the fingers. Maybe we could make this here into a bendy bone, never tried. I don't think this really need that. Maybe it could improve the deforms if you bend here, just on the joint of the knuckles. Gotta try. Yeah, interesting. So good to test out. So let's mark this out. Try fingers bendy bones for rotation. Also thumb metacarpal. And then the legs, so ankle, foot, all that. So this will be, I don't have the perfect setup, but now I understand much better how this works. Actually, let me present something new that new for me, right? But it's actually very hard. I didn't find any resource that explains this didactically, so I had to struggle to discover it. Is, let's make a last remaining how do you call it, another of this. So basically what you see here is that this bendy bone handles, each one of this is the handle and handle for this bendy bone at the top, and the bottom the start handle for it at the bottom. But as you can see here, maybe it's a bit hard to see, let's just select what matters for us. So as we can see here, the head or root of the bendy bone doesn't start at the tail of the handle, and it ends at the root of the other handle. So usually, normally, I would use the tail of the handle, but that will create a space gap between each bendy bone spline, at least regarding the bendy bones themselves. So the trick here is that in order to have this to work, we need to set the bendy bones here for the start handle to tangent. That means, I guess, that the bendy bone is tangent to, like, it's crossing the tail, so it's like tangent to the head, like this tangent here. This is how I interpret it, but maybe this it's another idea. So basically, maybe it's some calculation that reaches this. So this is tangent, and if I placed automatic here or absolute, it will go crazy because it is crossing. So I believe that in relative, I don't know what it is. So I think it has to do with the distance of the head of the bendy bone, the root of the bendy bone, to the handle. So maybe automatic is for connected, so it's special. Only automatic, I think, has the connected parenting, so it doesn't require. There's only one situation I've seen that it requires, but doesn't import here. Absolute would be when the joint will be here. They join here. Now I'm using the start handle. This is the start handle. Mechanism spine 002, right? Mechanism spine 002. So this is the start handle. So then now this is absolute. Tangent apparently works like that. I'm not totally convinced. I think it shouldn't. But actually the rotation of the bendy bone might be different. Yeah, it changes. Why it changes? Because the tangent has more space for the bendy bone to be, so we can allocate it there, and the bone doesn't go crazy, like it doesn't twist like that. But now it's an absolute, so now this is wrong. Now it's tangent, the right setup. The bendy bone will still go crazy. No, it doesn't. This is new to me. So it's not about the crossing that. So this is, I didn't know, just learned. So, and relative, I don't know what it is about. I thought it would be on the middle, but apparently it's something else. Relative to maybe the z-axis of the bone, something like that. The rotations don't seem very clear. Looks like the handle could be anywhere. You see, it's not like that for the others. But then the curvature of the bendy bone looks very weird, right? Let's try to. There is some influence, but it's a little chaotic. So I don't know here relative, but absolute. So it needs to reach the head there, and in this case, the tail is already too dangerous. So absolute would be more for this setup. And then automatic would be, okay, it's not happening, but if I connect parenting here, then I get this. Then it connects, of course, connects as for the absolute requirement, ideally. Then we have, okay, absolute. Then we have tangent, no, relative. Tangent, which would be that, if I'm not wrong, I would connect it to the tail, or even beyond. the tail, or maybe this is wrong. Maybe, yeah. So absolute and tangent here seem to make no difference. So maybe tangent, however, in this case, absolute and tangent make a difference, right? So the absolute needs absolutely to not cross the head here, or actually, yeah, it's not, it crosses the middle of the bone apparently. Let's try. Now it's already go crazy. So this is the middle of the bone. It cannot reach the middle. Okay, it reaches as soon as I, yeah, okay, so this is not perfect, but you got the idea. So this could be, the absolute in principle would be here. And for the tangent, the best utility that I found actually is for this setup. I knew that some people, riggers, were doing this, but I didn't knew that the solution for that was because of the tangent. Now that works. So you can stack bones. Here we don't see very well, but so I'm stacking the bones without gap. And this is, depending on the setup, this is what we want. Yeah, in this case of the spine, I prefer to have this connected, the bendy bones. They are not connected, but they are right. But they are following this. They have the same length, or nearly the same of the, yeah, I broke the rig, but I'm not gonna save. They have the same length in principle of this control. So if there were the gap, the length will be different. It will make the rig much more complicated to handle, and because of the handles that don't handle the problem unless we get this relative thing. You see the length here and the length of the bendy bone is the same. So that's it. That was it for the last highlight here, and that's it, folks. So thanks for watching. Tomorrow we'll be doing more, I hope, and then I intend to advance a lot because this is taking too long, and I've been making experiments meanwhile for the hips type joint, and we're solving big problems slowly and some bit of experimental. As this gets back, yeah, I'll try to finish this maybe in 2 weeks. It probably will take more, but let's try to make things start with what is easier first. So let's make, yeah, let's make something like organized in terms of, oh, this goes for here, right? Shoulder rig, maybe I should be doing this very soon. Clutch rigging, I want to leave it for later, and maybe this pelvis actually, at this point I think I can solve it. No, let's leave it after mouth rigging, which will be big stuff. Maybe I come up with new solutions, but I'll rig that real time. That will be nice. Thanks for watching, folks. Again, take care, happy blending, see ya another day. That's it.